All right, there we go. Hey guys, welcome to the Overwatch podcast, the Battlewatch. It feels like it's been a lot longer than we cast. This is episode 15. We are going to be talking about everybody's favorite Call of Duty player, Soldier 76. As always, if there's any viewers or listeners that have any information that they want to hear, please let us know on Facebook at the Battlewatch. It's a closed group, so please apply and we will review your submission and get you in as soon as possible. And Twitter, I am at dr4g3n. Before further ado, as you saw in the introduction, let me introduce the Battlewatch commanders. The Freak, how you doing?
Good. Ignore the mess behind me, and I'm in the process of moving.
That's definitely a process. That's all I'll say about that. And Steppy, how you doing, man?
What up? Yeah, not bad, man. Not bad.
All right. So, as I said, we're going to talk about Soldier 76, but let's get into the question for the crew. If do you have anyone you would like to bring into the Overwatch community? And I'm questioning for this, it's not like a developer, like another character. Is there anybody close to you? Like, are there any friends that you would like that played Overwatch, or is there somebody that you think is amazing on another game that would be great in Overwatch? It doesn't have to be a personal friend. It could be just somebody like that you watch on stream, or anybody individual. I would like personally, I'd like to bring my daughter, because it would give my wife a reason not to be like, why do you play that game so much? But other than that, like, I guess that's going to be a couple years down the line. But let's start with you, Steppy. How about yourself?
Not really. The only person I'd really like my brother, just so like we can play together. But
yeah, exactly.
I don't know why he doesn't use his PC anymore, but he just doesn't. So.
What does he use? Is he a console player?
No, I don't think he does anything now. Like, he moved in with a new girlfriend and that, so and she has a kid, so I think he's like occupied with that.
Gotcha. That happens. What about you, Mark?
I would have to say my soon-to-be brother-in-law. I used to play a lot of Arma 2 and started to play Arma 3 with him, and he's a big computer gamer, but his PC is nowhere near to where he can play this game effectively. So he needs to update his rig and get on.
Gotcha, yeah. Again, I said my daughter, dude, I'll tell you what, if I was able to get my wife to play, hell yeah. Like, I'd play quick play all day long if at night she's like, I've played this too long, I'm going to bed, and then I'd be like, okay, it's time to play competitive. But right. Yeah, that's always been one of these things. Like, I envy people that have their girlfriends or wives that play with them. But without any further ado, let's move on to our weekly update. Not a lot has happened. There's supposed to be a patch tomorrow. The early patch update has already been downloaded on my computer, and it's one of those, they said they're going down at midnight Eastern Standard Time and going back up at, I believe, 10 o'clock. So it's going to be a pretty long patch for those people that have been keeping track. And surprisingly, even though they're doing excuse me guys, even though they're doing an early patch thing, and it's still going to take that long, it seems really surprising. What about you guys? Have you guys downloaded the early patch already?
I have not, no.
Okay. I assume I have it. It's not showing up.
Yeah, it should be like green in the bottom left hand corner. Yeah. So what I've got for season 2 so far that I've noticed: the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good are when you get win streaks, because I've been calculating after a certain amount of wins, your placement increases substantially, your season rank. What have I got written down here? I've been keeping track, and there was one where I won 6 games in a row, and I went from winning 26 points in the first one to the last one winning 45 points, and prior to that 43 points. So it goes up substantially. Obviously, the lower in rank you are, the more it's going to go up. The higher in rank you are, the less it's going to go up, but it will still increase over time. I also have team comps seem to be better. I don't know if this is just where I'm placed at right now, but it seems like a lot of people that are placed in the range that I'm at, which is 26 to 2700, seem to know what they're doing more often. Seem to know that it should be 2 healers, it should be 2 tanks, and it should be 2 DPS. Steppy, I see you smirking. I think you disagree.
It's just over here. Sometimes I still have to argue with people that we need 2 tanks and 2 healers all the time.
That's
I just don't
crazy.
get it. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know what goes through people's minds.
This morning when we were playing competitive, like, it was like, do we really need 2 healers? And we're on my servers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that the people are willing to voice it. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least, even if it's just in text, because obviously I've noticed a lot more people are trying to communicate more often because they understand the elements of the game. Mark, have you noticed any difference in that?
I have noticed that as well. A lot of people are coming on, hey, what's up, right at the beginning, and they're just putting out feelers to make sure other people are, on headsets and stuff. But it seems like in the few games that I've played, that people are trying to coordinate, more verbalization and trying to get teams together.
Yeah.
With planning and stuff, strategy.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've been in the games where there's just been trolls, but remember, everybody, you still have that mute button. You have the power.
That's right.
So feel free to do that. The bad. Being too far from your friends. So if you play with your friends and they are over 500 season ranks away, you will not be able to place with them. I've talked to people that have degraded, and they're like, great, now I can't play with this person anymore. And I'm like, well, I mean, that sucks for you, but hopefully you can win the next couple games. And unfortunately, a lot of this depends on your team, that you can't play with real life friends. So you gotta weigh the good with the bad. If you're going to be outplaced with your teammates or your friends, you have the option of de-ranking, but remember, you're also causing 4 other people to do the same. So if you're increasing in rank and you're getting away from your friends, it doesn't mean that they're bad. It doesn't mean that you're amazing. It just means that your team comps have been a lot better than your friends, unless you're playing with them. And if that's the case, then you should just go up and down with them. But don't be afraid to play with higher level people. It's going to make your gameplay get better because you're playing with people that have more skill and people that are more team oriented. I also have being carried in placement matches. So Blizzard made it announced that this is another bad, by the way. Blizzard made it announced that they were not going to allow people that have already done their 10 placement matches to play with people that haven't. And when the game got released, they changed their minds and said, well, we don't really want that to happen because then friends won't be able to play together and at the beginning of the game. So I think what they were trying to do is help friends get at the same level as their other friends. It doesn't seem like this is happening, but when you're in your placement match and you're going and it's like 2 people are placing and the rest are platinums because they're on a team, it just seems like they're obviously carrying their friends to whatever level they are. And I don't like this. Finally, the ugly. There are still toxic players at the end of the game, so if you have lost, or even if you have won and somebody feels that you haven't done your part, they are still going to be there. These people are going to be there forever. This is just life. You have to deal with it, unfortunately. Have you guys dealt with any of these people? Mark, you're muted, I think.
You muted Mark, yeah.
Tons of them. Tons of people.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's just the way of life because people are always going to get salty no matter what. Other than that, just try and be the more positive player. I wrote down, I understand this is competitive, but unless this is your top 500 promo game or you are the only player doing anything at all, please calm down, because if you're a pro player, then you're playing on a pro team. You don't have to get salty. If you're a casual player and you just want to play competitive to mess around, that's what Quick plays for. There's no reason to jump on competitive and try and say, oh, I can be at this level when you're really not. I mean, you have plenty of time to test in Quick Play. If you really can't cut it, then just continue with Quick Play and practice somewhere. I mean, there's plenty of different options in the game that you can do. There's the Brawl, there's the Quick Play. I've still seen plenty of people do the 6-man Torb rushes or the 6, 4, or 5-person Hanzo with the Lucio, just to have fun, and that's where it should be. It shouldn't be in the competitive scene. Is there anything you guys want to add for the weekly update? I know it's short.
No,
I
have nothing.
All right, so our main topic for this week is Soldier 76. He is, and every COD player's dream, this guy is the epitome of being able to burst fire, being able to trace enemies. And what I mean by tracing enemies, I found this out over the past weekend, that there's two types of players. There's players that trace and players that use hit scans. And what I mean by this is hit scan characters are ones that when you shoot, the bullet goes directly to where you've pointed at. When you trace, the bullet is going to where you had your mouse as you're moving it. So with Soldier 76, because he's firing multiple bullets, he is a tracing player just like Tracer and Zarya, for instance, because you're following the enemy and you're just following with your bullets. The hit scan characters are the ones such as Widow, such as McCree, because where you point and click is where the actual shot's being done. A little backstory on Soldier 76. Let's give him a little emote here. He's the leader of the Overwatch. I believe what happened was he came in and took over Reaper's position, or Ray's position, and he became the leader of the Overwatch and has been in charge ever since. I believe what the current thing is, a lot of people think he's dead, and that's why he wears the mask, because in the if you get the Origins edition, he is maskless and he has his old garb on. He's in a lot of statues displayed in different Overwatch cartoons, different Overwatch comics, things like that. Many speculate that he's Pharah's father. I personally, or Anna's husband as well, I personally don't believe this, and that's kind of based on Anna's age. She seems a little older than Soldier 76 does. What's your take on this one, guys?
I don't know. I don't really.
You're not a Vorthos guy. All right, so would you guys agree that he's a skill-based character? That's the first thing I've got written.
Absolutely not.
No?
Right.
No? Why? Okay.
You just point at a spot, shoot your rockets, and it does like 100+ damage. Like, that's not hard at all.
Oh, come on. The rockets take a little bit to get there, huh?
Yeah, but if someone's running left, you aim to where they're running, and like it's probably along with Reaper that required the least amount of skill.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. I think one of the first few podcasts we had done, we had discussed the fact that, if you're a Call of Duty player or any kind of first-person shooter player and you wanted to break into Overwatch easily, this was one of the characters that you could use because he's so similar to those other point-and-shoot type games, right down to his ultimate being, literally an aimbot for you, kind of thing. So I believe he requires very, very little skill to play.
All right, so Blizzard agrees with you guys. He is a difficulty 1-star, which is the easiest. His gun is a heavy pulse rifle with an automatic firing. They recently adjusted this to where if you hold it down, as you can see, my bullets are going all over the place towards the end. But if you do 3 shots in a row, then you're hitting the same spot every time, 3 or 4 shots. So be wary of that. I'll skip his ultimate at the moment. His first ability is Sprint, which is another Call of Duty thing. But unlike Call of Duty, you don't have to hold it down. You can just click the shift button. Whenever you do anything else, this will cancel his run, as well as it's on a very long timer. He can sprint for basically an entire map.
I've never tested it, but it seems like it's almost indefinite.
So I'm running around with it right now. I'll run back to I'm not pressing anything.
As long as you don't stop, it's indefinite.
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it might have been after I jumped off the second story. That's probably when it stopped. No. Alright, yeah, so it's indefinite. I am incorrect. His second is his biotic field, which deploys a field that heals all of your allies, displayed here. Again, this was one of our tips of the week, that you need to be within line of sight of that little crystal, that goes up. If you are not, then you will not be getting the heals, even if you are next to a wall that's getting healed by it. For instance, if I put it down there and I'm over here, I'm still not getting this heal because I'm not in range of that actual middle barrier or middle display. Finally, he's got his Helix rockets, which launches a volley of explosive rockets. There are 3 that come out at a time. And this refreshes on 7 seconds. So it's very quick. You can deal a lot of damage. And finally, his ultimate is Tactical Visor, which again, as Mark mentioned, is his aimbot.
I've got you in my sights.
And a good thing to note is if you do have his aimbot on, the rockets actually adjust to find the character. They're almost heat seekers.
Yeah.
So as I said, he's required to be good at tracing enemies because of the fact that you need to know where they are. He can get the bonus on enemies of headshotting. So that's another thing to keep wary of when you're aiming at an enemy character. Aim at their head. If you aim at their body, you will do a lot less damage. What else we got? He's able to heal the team in a very short time frame, even though he's not a support character. And what I mean by this is, as I can show you how much damage he does. Let's take some damage. And what I use this for, if I ever play Soldier 76, because he's definitely not a main of mine. That's a pretty quick refresh. I use this whenever Zarya ults. You can place this right down and you might be able to outlast all the damage that's coming in if somebody else is using their shield wisely or able to assist you. Especially him and Ana being teamed up together. If Ana throws her biotic grenade down and then he does his biotic field, he will be healing for double the amount. Mark said his ultimate allows you not to miss, so he is an aimbot. He's variable, I think, and you guys can argue with me if you don't agree. I think he's very viable in the team comp right now, as long as the person is skilled at aiming, because that's where he excels. Because you need to, for some reason, for one or another reason, we talked about Farah 2 weeks ago. She's being used a lot more often right now in competitive, and being able to take her out of the sky is very paramount. And most of the time, because Mercy's being used right now, you can take them both out of the sky because she's following her around. You guys are very quiet. Anything to add to this guy?
Nah, he's pretty
pretty much
basic.
does it.
You're hitting it all on the head.
Okay. I feel like I'm casting alone today.
You are casting alone. We're just observing.
All right. I feel even
We're
more
fact checking.
I feel even more pressure now. So I've got some of his counters written down. You guys, I know that you guys are going to have other counters, but please feel free to chime in. So I've got one of his counters is Reinhardt. The reason I have that down is because his damage does a lot, but it's not dealing a lot to his shield. I actually wish in the training bot area that they had a shield that you could test.
Yeah, sure, that'd be nice.
So maybe I should write Blizzard and be like, yo, Battlewatch rules, put a shield guy out here. And
That's right.
Yeah, say exactly that.
I've got Zarya again for her shield. She has the ability to close in on a Soldier 76 as he's dealing all this damage and gaining the ability to kill him faster. He only has 200 health. I should have mentioned this earlier. He's a very squishy character, so he's usually used in the back lines, not infiltrating, not trying to flank, but actually trying to take people out in the air, taking people out from behind. And Zarya, when she's very close up, if she happens to take a rocket into the shield, that's going to give her a ton of energy to melt him down. I also have Genji, because Genji can reflect everything he does. I don't know if he can reflect the actual heal field.
Yes, you can.
Oh wow, I've never seen that. That is insane.
Yeah.
So the fact that he can reflect everything is pretty crazy. Also the fact that he's so agile is another reason to be wary about him, because of the fact that he's much harder to hit, and when he's slashes through you and goes behind you, if you have to turn around, that gives your back open to all the other players on the other team.
A little tip too, if you're playing Soldier and Genji ults, just sprint away because he can't keep up. He might hit you once, but if you keep sprinting, you won't die because he can't like keep up.
Okay, all right, that's good.
Yeah, and you can actually run faster than like, unless he kills someone else and then dashes to you again. But if he's just chasing you, just sprint. He can't catch you.
Nice. Yeah, who else, guys? Off the top of my head, I just
Tracer,
thought of Tracer.
obviously.
Yeah. Tracer's
pretty much
another.
this like really 1v1 situation. Pretty much anyone can counter him. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say
except the
exactly that
supports.
too.
Like,
Yeah, I guess he does very well at taking out support characters. He's a very good player on, and you guys again disagree if you feel that I'm wrong, but I think he's very good on the King of the Hill maps because it's closer quarters, but it's also a medium range, not so much long range. But he can take out the supports very easily in there. Who else?
if you're good at picking your targets to kill them, then that's where Soldier 76 stands out.
Yeah.
If you're just going to be the person who sits there and shoots Diva to get your ult, or shoots a Reinhardt shield just to get your damage up, then you're playing him wrong. So
Yeah. Anything else to add, guys?
not really, no.
Yeah, no. He's pretty. I mean, there's really not a whole lot to say about him. He's pretty basic. You know, there's not really a whole lot to him.
Don't.
All right, so
I've got you in my sights.
actually, I would like to test that one more time. I am going to get his ultimate again and see if his ultimate actually reloads his gun.
Yes, it does. Like if you are on like one ammo and then you hit your ult, it does.
That is pretty intense.
I don't play by the rules anymore.
We're almost there. Oh, another thing. Be careful, his rockets actually deal damage to him as well if you're too close. You also cannot rocket jump with him, as in certain games such as Team Fortress 2. Alright, I am down to 1 shot. So,
I've got
man, it goes straight up 25. So good.
Yeah, it's weird that. It kind of takes like the precision and timing out of the character. Like, you should have to make sure you reloaded to be able to. Like, same as Zarya. Like when she fires her ult, she doesn't get full. Like you have to make sure that like you're full energy to get the most out of her.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
I'm sorry.
But if you think of like McCree, whenever you do the Deadeye, you could be on 1 bullet and he still gets 6 shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
but still after that, at least you have to reload. Like,
true, that's true. So that is that. We're going to go on to our tip of the week. This is going to be a short cast because, one, we don't have a lot to say about 76 because he's a very straightforward character. He's very easy to play as long as you have a good tracing skill. And two, we didn't have a lot for the weekly update other than smashing on Season 2. So our tip of the week is Mei. She has her ability to Ice Wall, which has been being amazingly used in certain aspects of Season 2 and competitive that I've seen. Hanamura, to name the best one that it's used at on the first choke point, as well as Eichenwald. Eichenwald, you can use Mei to a very easy win as well. The one thing a lot of people don't know is that it only says build and cancel when it's displayed, so you can cancel it and then you can left click and build it. The other thing that a lot of people don't realize, and it doesn't really display it here, I don't even know if it displays it, or it doesn't even display it on the little tips and tricks.
no.
So when you press E again, it changes the direction. This can be used for a couple of things. For instance, and I don't think I can get up there, but I'll try. If I want to try and get up there, no, yeah, it's too high. Oh, I can. Alright, so you can climb with this, in different directions, as well as using it to your advantage at a wall situation. If this was the choke point for the enemy characters and I was over here while my team was here and Reinhardt was trying to block out, if Reinhardt's shield was down, I can go over here, and as soon as one of their characters passes through, I can wall them out, take care of their character, and that would be the end of that guy. Also,
See, like, I didn't know that about the hit and E to flip it, like, at all. Like, I thought you just had to angle yourself differently.
yeah, that'd be
And,
crazy.
I just hit level 201 this morning, and I didn't know that at all. There you go.
Well, it's good to know, because I wouldn't want to stand right here and be like, all right, I'm not, just don't put your shield out, and be like, okay, all right. Also, of note, if you can cancel this early on. So I pressed E again and I canceled it. That's also another thing that they don't demonstrate. This happened to me by accident when I was playing May early on. So up and down. That's it for the tips of the week. Let's give a little emo. Hey, I'm May. But we're going to go into the shoutouts. And Steppy, why don't you start this week?
You guys can follow me on YouTube at youtube.com/SteppyJ, Twitter at JSteppyS, Battle.net Steppy, #6649, and that's it.
All right, Mark, how about yourself?
You can catch me on YouTube. My link is down below in the description. I'm also on the Battlewatch Facebook page. Check us out there. And if you want to catch me on Battle.net, I am the freak #11944.
And I am Dragon DR4G3N. Please follow along. Hit me up on Twitter if you want to. And try and I'm gonna try and stream more often. I haven't been doing it very much. I don't know what it is. I feel like if I stream competitive and I lose, everybody's just gonna be like, I don't want to watch this guy anymore. So, but I just gotta do it and hopefully get some wins and like be entertaining. Like that's what it's all about, right? That's why we're doing this. So I just gotta do it. And
Yeah, I had to stream season 1. I lost 7 in a row.
Yeah, I watched that whole stream too.
It was pitiful.
But yeah, I mean, it's true. If you're just entertaining, if you just want to give people enjoyment, then it's good just to stream, because I know all three of our personalities are very good. We should just keep with it. Steppy, I know that you're going to be trying to stream coming this the end of this year, hopefully.
Yes.
And I know that I'll be having that on while I'm at work because of our time changes, but it'll be very fun to watch, and I need to start streaming before you got a lot more followers than I do.
Yeah.
But as always, thanks everybody for listening and viewing. We're going to try and bring the current information every week, unfortunately, and I might be back tomorrow night depending on what this patch is, because if it's something like substantial, I want to try and be the first to hit you guys up with it. I'll try and hit these guys up, see if they can make it as well, but I guess we'll find out what it is tomorrow. Until then, next week we will be talking about Tracer, everybody's favorite little England girl. So we'll be talking about Tracer. Unfortunately, I don't have any of her Summer Games costumes, so I'll probably just use the original. Other than that, thanks guys for watching, and keep watching later. See ya.
See ya.
Peace.